listening to the Baumbastic podcast with Andrew Ellis on Inside Arkansas.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Baumbastic podcast, the Baumbastic postgame. We are Inside Arkansas. I am Andrew Ellis. He's John Neighbors. He's Curtis Wilkerson. We are live from Foghorns, right across the street from Baumwalker Stadium, and the vibes are very good because the Arkansas Razorbacks are 2-0 in their home regional for the first time in ages, for the first time in centuries. Families will be fed. Arkansas gets to stay in the winner's bracket, get to watch an elimination game tomorrow and don't have to be a part of it. That's always fun. Tonight could not have gone better for the Arkansas Razorbacks. They pick up a 12-1 win over the Creighton Blue Jays. Now they will await their fate tomorrow night. They get to watch, they get to kick back, relax a little bit. And as you know, today's Baumbastic Postseason Podcast is presented by Hickey and Whole Law Partners here in Arkansas, where they handle matters such as divorce, custody, criminal, civil litigation, and more. It's Hickey and Whole Law. Things are about to get better. Boys, things are pretty good in our lives right now. How are we feeling after Arkansas's thunderous, loud, and impressive 12-1 win over Creighton?
I mean, I think that everybody has to feel about as good as you could. I think it's the obvious thing. This was a nerve-wracking game going into it because of the fact that you lost past couple seasons in game two. You feel confident about what you got on paper, but you just don't know. How will Creighton come out? How will the pitch? What's Zach Root's going to do and everything? This was about as perfect as you could ask. Didn't spend a whole lot of pitching once again. The bats came alive. Wahiva Aloy is back. He is so back.
Oh, he's back.
And, boy. I mean, between that and then you got Helfrich hitting home runs. Cam Kojal's just out of this world. All this stuff. Andrew Ellis caught a foul ball. I mean, this was just the greatest type of night you could ever have. The weather was perfect. I couldn't be happier with the result.
Let me tell you guys a fun fact about a Blue Jay. I don't know if you know this or not, but if you lift up the tail feathers on a Blue Jay, there's a bare bottom on those suckers.
Ooh. Just
like every other mammal out there on the earth, every other bird out there, every other human. And Arkansas put the belt to it tonight is exactly what they did. Listen, this ain't the Big East, man. And, I get it. It was a nice little dub for Creighton yesterday, and they probably came in here flying high. And honestly, they've kind of done all this on the backs of their pitching. They had the offensive explosion yesterday, but this is just different. There are levels to this, and I think Arkansas really showcased that tonight. How many home runs did they hit? 5, 6?
At least
four?
5.
I think 5, because you had 2 from Helfrich, 2 from Aloy, 1 from Kojal. That'll
Come on, Kojal.
Yeah,
what are you doing, man?
I mean, you couldn't really ask for anything more. Exactly, man. I mean, come on with the gorilla ball. The bats woke up. We had the explosion that we thought maybe we would get yesterday. I'm fine with having it tonight. You mentioned the pitching. You didn't have to burn any arms. I mean, there is not a better scenario for Arkansas than what they're facing right now. It feels good to watch a Razorback team do exactly what they're supposed to do. They're in a great spot.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Like, tonight really couldn't have gone better. And like you said, Arkansas could not be in a better spot going into this game 3. I mean, we'll talk about the pitching. We'll talk about what Arkansas had to use. It wasn't a ton. Hell, even the guys that threw tonight, like, they would still be available. If you want to bring Steele Hughes back, he's perfectly fine. Zach Root did his job. The offense got some base when they needed. What's funny is Arkansas left 13 runners on base, and we're all thrilled with how it played out offensively because it's like they had so much action. They had so much pressure on this Creighton pitching staff. And so we're going to take a little trip through the scoring recap. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little bit more about our friends over at Hickey and Whole Law. Divorce and custody cases are too important to try and face alone. Let Hickey and Whole Law provide you with persistent and diligent representation to help guide you through the entire process. They have handled thousands of family law cases and have experienced nearly every scenario that may come up. They understand that it is crucial to their clients that they keep them updated on their cases and that they are able to provide advice and counsel throughout the process. They will take the time to meet with clients, respond to emails, and always return your calls. We call that the Dunder Mifflin customer service. Hickey and Whole Law have offices across the state of Arkansas. If you're in Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Little Rock, Mena, you can also just call them today, 479-434-2414, or you can check out their website, which is right above our heads right now. Visit hickeyandwhole.com or scan the QR code to the top right of your screen. It's Hickey and Whole Law. Things are about to get better. By the way, should I issue an apology and a retraction for the guy that walked by, said Woo Pig, was being very nice, and I happened to be cutting the Hickey and Whole Law promo. By the way, I'm pretty sure one of y'all said it. He said it was me. I was going to say, I thought it was you, but I was like,
definitely me.
Because when he said it, I was like, I don't remember saying anything, but he and his wife got a kick out of it. It was pretty funny.
Strays around
I love
here.
catching the strays, man. It is what it is. Boys, let's talk about this game and how it all went down in case any missed the action. So you have a scoreless top of the first inning where Fayetteville Lloyd gets probably top of the first because Arkansas had to bat first. I always think about that. It always sucks. You're wearing the grays, whatever. Fayetteville Lloyd steals second base successfully, tries to go 3, bad decision, gets thrown out, a little bit of a buzzkill. Zach Root, cool, calm, and collected, gets through the bottom half of the inning, easy. Top of the second, Cam Kogel gets the score. He started. Who else? I mean, he was the hero yesterday. I believe at one point, Robert Stewart can tell me, he has like 15 total bases or something like that in this regional already. It's crazy. Unreal. He goes oppo on a fastball in the outer half that really wasn't a bad pitch. Like, they showed the replay on the screen. Like, it was on the outer half. It was a 3-2 count. He had worked the count to get there, goes opposite field. And by the way, at this point, I mean, the game ends 12-1. It was tense. It was tight. Like, runs. We felt like, hey, runs are going to be at a premium. Felt like a big deal to get Arkansas on the board. They add another run because you have a Brent Iredale single. Good sign. Need to get that guy going. Reese Robinette, who got on base 4 times tonight, he works a walk. Justin Thomas reaches with an infield single. And then Charles Davalon was hit by a pitch for the second time in this game. Makes it a 2-0 game. He led off with a hit by pitch also. Fayetteville Lloyd punches out with the bases loaded, which, kind of was a little bit of a buzzkill. You're kind of waiting. You felt like Bob Walker was about to go crazy. What didn't end up being a big deal, but in the moment it felt like a big deal. Bottom second, I mean, I catch a sick-ass foul ball. I mean, I pretty much brought the stadium to its feet. I mean, that was awesome. Logan Maxwell also made a pretty damn good catch as well.
It was okay.
It was
comparatively speaking.
It was just average. It was just average.
You guys were back there behind home plate. Thought you were going to be stealing all the TV time. It turns out, the camera finds us. Top 3. Arkansas adds a couple more runs. Logan Maxwell singles first pitch of the inning. Ryder Helfrich rips a single through the right or the left side of the infield. By the way, the Creighton pitcher who started, true freshman, he is the Big East Freshman of the Year. That's a pretty good arm. And Arkansas put a lot of pressure on him. He wound up only going 3 innings in this game. This top of the third was his final inning. Cam Kogel, once again, rips a double down the right field line, gives Arkansas a 3rd run, and then once again, it looked like Arkansas was going to kind of strand some runners, have a little bit of an issue. Cahillo punches out. He wound up getting a hit later in the game, so we're all cool. Brent Iredale hits a ball hard to third base. At this point in the game, I was really nervous. They gun down the runner at home plate, and it keeps it a 3-0 game, gives you your second out, and you're like, oh, man, they're really going to end up only getting 1 run out of this. But Big Country, who, again, reached base 4 times, rips a base hit through the right side. Really good to see him have a good night. And Zach Root, who I can't believe it took us this long to mention Zach Root, was unbelievable in this game. Goes 6 scoreless innings. Anytime Arkansas created momentum offensively, Zach Root kept that momentum because he would just go right out there, throw 12 pitches, get back in the dugout, keep those guys warm, keep the crowd into it. Creighton went to a new pitcher there in the top of the 4th inning, which, again, the starter was up over 80 pitches after 3 innings. Arkansas did a great job keeping pressure on him. This new pitcher, I got to pull up his stat line. Guys, it was unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen a stat line like this in my life in any level of baseball. This cat throws 3 innings, gives up 2 hits, 4 runs, 7 walks.
Insane.
And 1 strikeout. And by the way, he was electric. He was like 94, 95. He had good stuff. Throws 63 pitches, 28 strikes. Arkansas wound up getting, I guess they didn't score in the top of the 4th, despite getting 3 walks. You leave the bases loaded there. So, again, you're kind of waiting for the seal to get broken off. Top 5, you draw 2 more walks, and then Fayetteville Lloyd, our Golden Spikes winner, hits a home run to left field, 20-degree launch angle, makes it 7-0. At this point, y'all are sitting behind home plate in your fancy seats. You had to feel pretty good, right?
Oh, dude. I was telling Curtis when Arkansas, I think they were up 4-0 at the time. I was telling him, it's like, remind me of the Arkansas-Tennessee football game where it's like Arkansas is playing so much better, but the score's just not showing it. And then when they busted it open, it was just, it was like, you never want to take it for granted. You still, long game, a lot of innings, but it was just almost like those opportunities, instead of just getting down on themselves because it's like, oh, we left people on base, or, oh, we had this opportunity blown. It's like they just kept chipping away. And as soon as it exploded, boom, they just went off from that. And that was, we talked about going into the game. Arkansas was the better team going into this game, and they showed it. And that's exactly what they needed to do. They went out there like, we are the dadgum 3 seed in this postseason. We are the number 1 team in this regional, and we're going to show it in front of everybody, and especially in this crucial game, too, for us. That was just something that I really enjoyed seeing of them just staying tough, hanging tough, and chipping away and making it happen.
Yeah, it's for me, it's good root, good Razorbacks. It never fails, and there were opportunities there for Creighton to capitalize on some things. We mentioned the bases loaded. You get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Even in the first inning, what was it? Oh, yeah, their catcher sailed the ball into center field after the steal, and you get gunned down at third base. You mentioned the guy getting gunned down at home plate. And, like, those are opportunities for a team like Creighton then to come up to bat, build a little bit of momentum. And Zach Root, he just wasn't having it, man. He wasn't having it. And that's so clutch for the Razorbacks. And then for him to get deep into the game, and, you know, again, like we've already said it, but just pretty much every arm you could ask for available moving forward. That's big-time stuff. There's so many guys that you could look at, like, you know, Helfrich, Vahiva, whatever. Zach Root's got to be my MVP for what he did there because there were opportunities for Creighton, and there have been times in the, where Root would come out there and hand that to him. He's done that before. Yeah. He didn't in this game, man. Just shut that stuff down. It was really, really impressive work by him and everybody that was out there tonight. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Zach Root, when he's pitching the way he is, I mean, really a pitcher of his caliber. You have a potential first-round pick on the mound. Puts pressure on a team like Creighton, where you kind of know you're going to have to take advantage of some of these opportunities. And on the other end, Arkansas felt like they were kind of leaving some meat on the bone. Like you mentioned, second inning, you leave a little bit weird. Mm-hmm. Really, first and second inning, you leave with a little sour taste. Third inning, you score a couple more runs, but you still felt like you missed out some. You have 3 walks in the fourth inning and don't score. I felt like that. Arkansas was waiting for that one hit to break it open. And, of course, it was Vahiva Aloy who brought it for him. By the way, the pitch was not a strike. It was a 1-2 fastball up in the zone. The pitcher could not have executed the pitch any better. That's exactly where he wanted to throw that sucker.
Tomahawk
I want to see
the
tray. He just 20 miles an hour, gets on top of it. So that's in the top of the 5th. That makes it a 7-0 game. Ryder Helfrich jumps all over the first pitch at the top of the 6th inning for his, I guess it was his 11th home run of the year. Makes it 8-0. And then Creighton goes to, let's say, not a high leverage arm in the 7th inning. That's when they started waving the white flag. You get a Davalon walk. Vahiva Aloy hits his 2nd home run. This one did not just barely get over the fence. This one was closer to 400 feet. That makes it 10-0. Logan Maxwell single. Ryder Helfrich follows with his. And this one actually did kind of sneak over. It was just barely over there.
No, what are you talking about? That was a piss missile, man. Come on.
Absolutely, yeah. That makes it a 12-0 game, and that's when you kind of knew things were over. By the way, you want to talk about Zach Root a little bit. Goes 6 innings, only gives up the 3 hits, only has the 1 walk. What's weird is you hear those numbers and you hear the 0 runs, 7 strikeouts, and you're like, oh, so he had he had great command, sharp stuff. He kind of had to battle a little bit. Like he hit a couple batters. He was having a battle. He throws 94 pitches, 55 strikes. So it wasn't like he just was on cruise control, but he never let up, never gave in at all. He was dialed in. And I think when you think about this Arkansas team, like you say, Curtis, good Root, good Razorbacks. It just changes the way you view the entire overall roster, where it's like if you have a guy that looks like that starting for you, that's been the missing piece. That's been kind of the question. Does Arkansas have that starting pitching? You certainly have to feel a lot better seeing the clutch hits from some of your top guys, seeing your ace go out there and look like an ace in the most important game of the year. Pretty decent time to play your best game, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'll allow it. This is pretty good timing for sure. And I keep thinking about something that I've heard you say a number of times, Andrew. If you can't strike out this lineup, they're going to get you. And that's just that's really how it felt. Creighton's got a good pitching staff. And like I said at the top, like this is not the Big East. Like it's a different level of competition. But those are proven arms. It's a team that, they won like 14 out of 15, 22 out of 24. Like it's ridiculous. They've been playing good baseball. But, man, they could not get that, strikeout pick consistently. They didn't have any clean innings whatsoever, right. It felt like. And you mentioned the pressure. And just like, the Arkansas offense, it just felt like a python, man. They're just squeezing you, and just sucking all the life out of you. And then eventually you get to them, the bombs start flying. Creighton understands what's going on. They're trying to figure out some things for what tomorrow's going to look like. They put Arthur Kaluma in the game to give up a couple nukes. Yeah. I mean, it was just one of those things, man. But just really a complete game. And as we were walking over here, Andrew, you said, like, it's a great time to play arguably your most complete game of the year. And they did that, man. They worked them over from top to bottom.
I mean, think about all the losses that ended Arkansas seasons. Any postseason, really. I mean, you're a Cardinals fan. Any postseason loss at any level, your season ends when that starting pitcher or that relief pitcher comes in and gets a rhythm against you and just kind of mows your offense down. Like every season-ending loss looks the same. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that separates, obviously, the numbers for this offense are just way better. But I think the thing that frustrated me last year about Arkansas's offense is like you look at it on paper and you're like, Jared Spraglot, he's not a bad hitter. Peyton Stovall, he's not a bad hitter. You go on down the line, there's a lot of good pieces, but it just didn't feel like they were threatening you all the time. You didn't feel like you weren't terrified when Ben McLaughlin went up to the plate. Creighton was terrified of this Razorback lineup, and he kind of felt inevitable that Arkansas was going to have those big hits
after
eventually.
That first solo shot that kid gave up, he was shook. the rest
Yeah,
of the
he
game. You
was.
could tell
He was
he was
rattled.
feeling it from there.
And by the way, we talked about North Dakota State, which, by the way, after this game, I think we can give North Dakota State even more props because
Absolutely.
Yes.
they only walked Arkansas 3 times. Creighton walked Arkansas 12 times
That's
in this
wild.
game.
It's not ideal.
12 times. What's crazy is they actually ended up striking them out 9 times. That last guy that they brought in pitched pretty well, struck out 4. But 12 walks, you just can't do that against this Razorback lineup. They're going to eventually get to you. And it felt like every out they had to get was high stress. I mean, the starter, like I said, goes 3 innings, those 79 pitches. That other guy, 3 innings, 63 pitches. Even the guy that pitched well through 51 pitches, it's like, that's taxing. It's like you go back to the dugout, you're like, oh, thank God. And then Zach Root goes out there and pitches a 1-2-3 inning, and it just deflates you a little bit. And so it was good to see the best version of this Razorback lineup out here today. And let's talk about the pitching. By the way, I have the box score pulled up with all this. Arkansas, of course, once you take a 12-0 lead, you get to kind of be conservative with how you use it. Ben Bybee, credit to him, who, by the way, pitched really well in this game, too, last year in a different situation after Arkansas was losing. He gives up a run, looked like he was going to run into some trouble, ends up giving up a long fly ball, limits it to 1 run. Steele Eves quietly has been very good in all his appearances here lately. That's an intriguing arm that I think is a big piece for Arkansas moving forward. Good to see him get that experience. And then Colin Fisher, Big Tuna, comes in, works around a 1-out single. Just really good stuff. And we talked about it at the top. You know, one, it's good to see Arkansas play as well as they did. The pitching, I mean, Gabe Gackle did not pick up a ball.
Yep.
Christian Fouch did not pick up a ball. Cole Gibbler did not pick up a ball. Like, not only did you not use those arms, they didn't even have to even think of like, oh, hey, I might be coming in. You're kind of trying to stay locked in as a reliever. Arkansas, I mean, you have to feel so much better if you're a Razorback fan. You kind of get to breathe that sigh of relief knowing how it sets up the rest of the weekend.
Well, we've talked about the pitching depth and how Arkansas has it, and it's as good as they've had in a long time. And in this particular situation, obviously you're going to have to use guys, but it's not like you're sitting back and being like, okay, well, now how we're going to do this, what we're going to use. Not only do you have more depth than what you've had before, but you have a better setup than what you had before because you haven't had to use any of it. I mean, you guys know this, but it's like tomorrow's game. You could pitch everybody. I mean, obviously not everybody, but that's what you feel like you have. You have so many options. To where it's like, man, we just got to hope this one guy is good because if he's not, we're screwed. There's not that at all. It's like, well, if this guy's not good, don't worry. We got 3-4 guys that can come in that are just as good and shut it down. I mean, I hate to jinx it. I probably just did, but I would be hard-pressed to find a better situation if you're the Arkansas Razorbacks than what you're in right now, not only being up 2-0, but with your pitching, with the way people are hitting, getting Vahiva Loy back on track and getting him feeling confident again. I mean, it's really hard to feel like there's be a better situation for Arkansas heading into what will be the elimination game tomorrow night, depending on North Dakota State or Creighton, whoever wins it. But it's hard to find a better situation.
I mean, it might almost be too good. I mean, we were kind of talking about it. Like, if Arkansas gets a little bit of a cushion tomorrow, you might have to start looking at it if you're Dave and being like, all right, I got to get some guys some work. Because the next time they face Tennessee, it might be the first. It keeping up for them. I can't even imagine, and I'm glad that we don't have to, being in the situation of Creighton or North Dakota State. Like, you never want to be the loser of the game 2 there. You never want to be the team that has to play twice in a day. But just imagine having to grind one out tomorrow. And then you have to see Arkansas, and you know that the only way out of this is and to extend your season is to win 2 games and beat this team twice, and then you can't even look at it and say, well, maybe we can get deep into their arms, eventually. Man, maybe if we can scrap out a win here on Sunday and take it to Monday, boy, they're really going to be on fumes. No, it's not really going to be the case. So good luck.
Yeah, and I mean and I feel like pitching depth is like one of the strengths of this Razorback team if we're just kind of looking at the roster and kind of what they bring to the table. So for you to add to it on top of it, like even if they had to use Gackle or Fouch or whoever, you'd still have some of those arms. And it makes it, like you say, less pressure even on tomorrow. Obviously, you don't want to lose and force a Game 7, and that would be a disaster. But even if you did, it's like you'd go into that game being like, well, we still got all these arms available. Because who knows what Arkansas is going to use tomorrow, but it would shape up pretty well. And so I know Hog fans are feeling good, and we want to hear from them, so we're going to hop into the chat. But before we do that, I want to talk about our buddies over at Radiant Elements Medical Spa. There is no doubt that tough workouts deserve a tough recovery. At Radiant Elements Medical Spa, their deep tissue sports massage and infrared sauna help you bounce back faster, hit the weights harder, and stay in the game. Look like some of these hogs that were hitting those nukes we're getting their massages in lately. Some of you may feel self-care makes you soft. Well, you're an idiot. That's not true. Self-care is not soft. It's what winners do. It's what the Razorbacks do, and it's what we do. And for you guys that are wondering what to give your special someone for that special occasion, Radiant Elements Medical Spa have all different types of services to make it the best gift ever. Check them out in the Weddington Plaza right next to the Lion's Mane, or book an appointment online with the QR code at the top right corner to get 15% off your first service. It's Radiant Elements Medical Spa, self-care for everyone. Chat feeling good? Y'all been checking in on them a little bit?
Oh yeah, they're feeling good and feeling weird, and probably about 3 sheets to the wind. Most of them are drunk, so yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good vibe.
Yeah, as it should be. It's a little bit of a different vibe here in Foghorn. It's a little bit later, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's this fan base. I mean, when it's a low stakes, low leverage final to the game, the fan base isn't as rowdy, I guess. But shout out to Garrett McCollum, our guy. Shout out to HD Roofing and Construction. He says should be enough for a cold beer apiece. Woo pig, y'all. Get good and hydrated. We will take him up on that for sure. Will we not?
Appreciate you, Garrett.
Can't wait.
Absolutely. Papa Dragon says Arkansas has officially gained the commitment of every Hawaiian prospect for the next 7 years.
Man.
I did tell the 2 kids that I ran into yesterday, I was like, y'all got to come play here, right? Like, obviously, seeing Aloy, seeing all the little palm trees and all that, everybody dancing to his song, I'm glad that Vahiva got to have a moment like that. Because, I mean, that's what, when you think about these great players, obviously you remember the numbers, but it's like it's cool to look back to these moments in time. So for him to have the big hit that kind of broke the game open, then have a 2-homer game to make it 20 home runs on the year and see this crowd go unreal. Let's talk about the crowd, by the way, because the crowd was unreal
Place was
in
buzzing,
this game.
man.
I don't know if y'all – I mean, my section was cooking over there. We were having a good time. Was it cool behind home plate? Were they rowdy back there?
Awesome. It was fantastic.
Yep, hard to beat, man.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Karmaduk, who also gave us a super chat. He says, get
Appreciate
some beer
it.
with your wings, Woo Pig. Absolutely, we will do that. I love how many people like to contribute to our beer funds.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
They're gonna make alcoholics out of all of us.
Yeah, I mean, as if we weren't already. Shout out to Aiden Watson. We appreciate his super chat as well. He says, Andrew called earlier today with the strikeout to ERA disparity for Creighton. We put the ball in play consistently, and good things happen. And again, I think we touched on it earlier. You could tell how terrified Creighton was of this lineup.
Yeah.
Zone was also like pretty tight. Like I'll just go ahead and say that as well. But Arkansas knew what kind of pitches they wanted to hit. And I want to give Nate Thompson a lot of credit in this regard. He always has the scouting report. Like, these guys know what they are looking for up there. They might not always hit it. They might not always get the pitches they're looking for. But usually Arkansas has a pretty good idea. And you could tell they spit on a lot of pitches that you could tell they kind of felt were coming. I thought Arkansas, you could probably ask, could they have driven in a few more runners with scoring position, whatever. But it's hard to ask for a much better performance from the plate from those guys.
Shout out to the home plate ump, too, for being a legit 6'9".
Dude, he
like
was
not a Kareem
massive.
Bertel.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
like Trevor Brazil's height, man. It was incredible. That was crazy, bro.
I love that.
What was his name? Because somebody, was his name Travis or something?
I think it was.
There was
Travis
a guy
or
behind
Trevor.
us. It was like, oh, yeah, maybe it was Trevor. Trevor, you know, you saw that one, Trevor. Come on.
Those dudes behind home plate, they get after the umpire no matter what, man. They are always on his ass. Shout out to Vince for me, who I declared a top 5 chatter yesterday.
Yeah.
He says, when is the last time we had a guy hit 20 home runs in a season? John, you know the answer to this question, right?
Spam Burger. Chad
Yeah.
Spamberger, 2017.
I mean, which is 8 years ago. I mean,
I
that's
know.
a long time. I thought they might have a chance for 2, and I don't think we're going to get there, although Cam Kojal's sneaking on up there. I think he's got 15 now on the year.
I don't know, guys. Arkansas is going to have, about 8, 9 more games, I think. So
Ton of games left. So, yeah, there's plenty of time. And we were trying to talk about it. We were trying to figure out earlier how many in program history. I know the record is 24, so it's not that many. Benny hit 20. Aloy obviously has now hit 20. Spamberger, Andy Wilkins, I believe, hit 20.
There's not a whole lot.
I don't think Eibner ever hit 20, and so it's like it's a pretty exclusive list. And so for Vahiva to join that's certainly notable. And what a way to get him for sure, man. Corey Dubbs, shout out to him, who we got to meet this weekend. Shout out to Corey Dubbs. I don't know
Yeah, that was awesome,
multiple times. I
man.
don't know if he's here yet, but he was here earlier. He says, "I'm so mother flipping happy right now. Let's go." We
It's just
appreciate that.
such a better vibe than this situation the last couple of years. man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just.
I mean,
We needed this.
infinitely
We
better.
needed this,
Infinitely
boys.
better. Shout out to T Razorback. About his super chats rolling in tonight. How about that?
I'm
Man?
telling
Love
you.
Love that. He says, Andrew, how much for an Ellis sign foul ball?
Hey,
Free, man. Free. By the way, shout out to Darren McFadden, who is not here tonight. You know where he's at tonight? Dickie Stevens Park. He's
That's
at
right.
Faith
Yeah.
and Family Night. My future father-in-law sent me a picture. He got Darren McFadden's autograph tonight.
Nice.
He had a rookie card, or not, I don't know if a rookie card, but it was a
card?
Oakland, him in an Oakland jersey, him running the ball, and it was a card of his, and he got him to sign it. And he was like, dude, tell me something cool to say to Darren McFadden. And I was like, I don't know,
just
man.
say, got that wood.
I know you guys know this, but when I got mugged in Las Vegas, the guy that tried to hit me was wearing a Darren McFadden Raiders jersey.
I actually
that.
did not. I don't remember that part, but that sucks.
So anyway,
Love that. Love that. But T. Razorback, man, I will gladly give you. I don't know if I can give him this ball.
You can't give him that
This
one.
is a
No,
special
no.
ball. Give me any ball, and I will gladly sign it for you. Right?
Yeah, how come he didn't give it
for
to a
free.
kid, dude? Like I thought
There weren't. So okay, I'm glad there weren't any kids near me because I mean, look, I would have given up the ball.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh yeah, here you go. There were really no kids near me unless you count Josh Rugger. He was near me, but yeah, I don't like. There wasn't really many kids in my section. I don't know what it was. Although credit to the kid who made a catch an inning before
That
me
was a snag.
with the
Dude.
just.
Yeah.
He had the glove ready, reached out
Yeah.
there. Like I mean, that was just good.
if you give it to Hillary. Like I feel like that, and if there was a kid around and they're like, "Hey, give it," to, you'd be like, "No, I'm giving it to my girlfriend." You know, I think that you could have gotten away with
After
it.
the heroic effort I put forth to save her life on that ball,
Yeah.
I don't.
You deserve that.
Yeah, I
You
deserve
deserve
to
it.
keep that
Yeah.
one. Kipsy makes a great point here. He says Creighton starter is solid, but I think that atmosphere got to him. Then he cracked. Many studs have came to Baum Walker and couldn't handle it. I mean, look, we talk about the Charlie Welch home run a lot, and obviously for good reason. It was an awesome moment. The moment that led up to it, those pitchers, Cody Frank included, by the way, really kind of just the moment kind of. I mean, it's like a 1-2-1 game in that situation. You load the bases, you have a wild pitch. Like they were already starting to crack, and then you serve one up. And that's kind of the formula. This team just does that more consistently. That was like the one good moment for that team offensively. It seems like they're just waiting to pounce. Like you said, the Python thing was very good, Curtis. I really like that.
Thanks, man.
You've been displaying your ball knowledge. I know people have been noticing, and I appreciate that.
Makes me feel good. Thank you.
Yeah. No,
Thank you.
they do feel like a little bit of a Python, man. They just kind of like sneaking up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait a minute, my limbs are limbs are detached there.
And,
But
you know, like you keep mentioning our seats behind home plate there. We had a great view of what was going on.
Did.
And as soon as he gave up that homer, you look out there on the mound and you can see just the sweat start to build up on his forehead. The glutes were activated, so a little lemon booty going on there. Like he was tight, man.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
I think it's funny. I think that's also going to age well because I think that kid is going to be a good prospect moving forward. I mean, he was 92, 93 consistently.
He was good, man.
Freshman, and Big
Not
East
good
freshman
enough.
of the year, had a great year in their conference. I think like we're going to look back in 5 years and he'll get drafted in the third round and we'll be like, you know what, that was a really strong performance. But it's good to see Baum Walker in full force. By the way, we talk about the atmosphere a lot, and you always assume. Yeah, of course you're at home in front of 12,000 fans. Of course it's a great that's going to help you. It can go the other way. And I mean, we were sitting here a year ago, and that was not a crowd that broke SEMO. That was not a crowd that broke Kansas State. Arkansas got the crowd on their side early, and I think those players felt it, and they really thrived in that atmosphere for sure. And speaking of guys who thrived in the atmosphere, freaking Zach Root, Corey Dubb says Root was electric tonight. We appreciate your second super chat. Root really was, man. I mean, hey, RK, I'm going to ask you guys. Are we in a John L. Davis, Jonas Adu situation where it's like, look, Arkansas had their number one transfer and their number two pitcher, Landon Beidelshees, also with Root and Beidelshees, it maybe didn't look that way all year, although Root was a first-team All-SEC guy. Is it now we're just in the postseason? It's like, look, those guys are just those guys. Because I feel like if someone had been in a coma for 4 months and we just showed them this game tonight, they'd be like, oh, so Zach Root, like he was just money all year. Was he 10-2 as a starter? Like, is he just the man? Do you feel like you get a John L. Davis, Jonas Adu type of feel from this Zach Root situation?
I did. I mean, you wanted him to come out and set the tone, and he did. And so with that, I can't help but feel the next time we see him, which of course will be in next week's Super, I'm going to be going, all right, I'm feeling great. I feel great about Arkansas getting game one. And you might as well put it out, Dave. Just put out the graphic. Starting game one of the Super Regionals, Zach Root. You might as well just say, and I'm going to feel good about it.
I like it. Speaking of displaying ball knowledge, that's a great comp right there. I mean, I even looked up at one point, it might have been like the second or third inning, but was just trying to see Root's pitch count, and they go from tonight stats to season stats, and just seeing his ERA over 4 and everything, I was like, really?
Yeah.
It dropped down a good bit. Where did it finish at here tonight? I guess we can pull it up real quick. His ERA is now down to 3.78.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
love
about.
seeing
There we
that.
go. Yeah.
Well, and look, same. I mean, obviously, when we talk about John L. Davis and we talk about Jonas Adu, we're never going to say, dude, you remember on Thanksgiving Day whenever they sucked, and you remember against Hofstra whenever it's like, no, we're like, you remember they played in the NCAA tournament and Jonas Adu dominated that first half against Kansas. You're remembered for what you do here. History will remember Zach Root fondly because of nights like tonight, and so good to see. I mean, like we say, you save your best for your best moments, your biggest moment of the year. I mean, this was the biggest game of the year. Love to see that, man. I think Hog fans will have a lot more confidence as well. Fishman, love to see him in the chat. He drops his super chat, says, this is our best chance since 2018, fellas. Get one for DVH, man. I mean, certainly, if there's anybody who deserves to have some good luck in his direction, it's DVH.
This feels different. This feels good. We don't have to get too far ahead of ourselves here. One game at a time, blah, 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 all those things. But they're really in a good spot here, and they've got the makeup of a team that can do it.
Well,
So,
I just don't feel like this team, where it's at right now, is just where this game, we're just like, oh, man, that came out of nowhere. They got lucky, or you just skated by, you just caught them in a bad – it's not that Creighton was just trash and you got lucky out of it. It's like you feel that this is a team that's what I want to see, and because that's what they're capable of and that's how good they can be. They did it, and so I want to. That's what makes me feel great about the rest of the postseason. Hopefully, it goes right. But I mean, yeah, I don't feel. Oh, we got away with one here. I feel like this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Yep.
I mean, because look, we never really doubted this team's capability. Like, even the people who are the most negative of all time know that when this team plays their best ball, like we were saying, Arkansas's best might be the best in the country. You just kind of hope they don't play because I mean, last year Hagen Smith had his worst start of the year in the biggest moment of the year, and it doesn't mean Hagen Smith's a choker and that he sucks. It's just like, these things can happen. It's baseball. We always say that, and so you're kind of just always worried about that. And so it's good to, like, now that when the season starts over and you have these 2 postseason games, it's like, that's all. Now this is all that matters, and so it's good to see your team kind of, like we say, peak at the right time. By the way, shout out to Hogball Burner, who a great Twitter follow, like just a great member of Razorback, one of the few good members of Razorback Twitter. Always cracks me up with his tweets, and he's usually stays in the basketball lane. He says he watched his first baseball game of the year, and he's hooked now.
There we go.
Picked a great one to start with, man. It's always like this, Hogwall Burner. It's always smooth sailing. We just kick ass every single game.
Understand, though, that if this is your first game, your opinion is invalid. Like, you should not be given any opinions on this baseball team whatsoever.
Just shut up.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about them at all,
You can't talk about it. Like, we're glad you're watching or whatever, but just understand how this works. So.
Leave it to us. We do not want this game to grow at all.
No.
Tristan Cisco says, I've given Helfrich a lot of shit, but he's by far the most improved player on this team, especially at the plate. Yeah, I mean, the dude, he hit .337 in SEC play this year as a catcher, playing catcher every day. You don't see that much. For as much as we complain about Ryder Helfrich, and look, I'm not saying he's the world's best defender or anything, although he's made a lot of strides there as well, I would say. Definitely, I mean, teams just don't run on him at all. He's been a lot more consistent behind the plate. I mean, he's going to be a preseason first-team All-American type of guy. He's going to be one of the better prospects in his class. I think people are going to appreciate Ryder Helfrich a lot more when he leaves and you look back and you're like, oh, yeah, he's a lot closer to being the best catcher in school history than he is to being like this problematic figure. But one thing that dude can do is ambush a freaking fastball.
Yeah, he can.
And, all these guys, people always say, oh, can he hit the curve? All these guys can hit the curve. All these guys can hit the fastball. But Helfrich, how many times has he hit a home run foul? It's because he can just – those hands are quick. Those dudes throwing hard could not get one by him. He absolutely bullied a couple fastballs.
And I think there is nobody that I've ever seen that can sky-high a home run more than Ryder Helfrich. I mean, I feel almost all the home runs that he hits, they're just golf shots, like just out into the atmosphere there. So, but it's good to see him get going, too.
I mean, I know some people always do the thing where they're like, why do y'all talk about exit velocity? I don't care about exit velocity. I care about hits and all that. And, like, I get it. But Helfrich's always been a guy that, like, the metrics and, like, the backspin and, like, all the weird data, it's like, something with his swing. There's something there for sure. Shout out to Woo MF Pig, who says, Andrew definitely outkicked this coverage with Hillary. While I may have gotten some TV time, also got some TV time was the first lady of the Baumbastic podcast. She was out there. I'm sure she will appreciate this comment. But no, yeah, I mean, it was good out there. We had Christian and Robert were next to me as well. We had a lot of folks out there, man. It was good stuff. And then Cody James says, who's also a basketball guy that I'd love to see in the baseball chat as well. He says, did the kid or Andrew make the better catch? I got to go with the kid. He's right. The kid made a better catch.
It's a heck of a snag by
the
kid.
Was
and that was coming in hot, too.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Whitty says, I see Andrew brought his internet with him to Foghorns. I saw a lot of people complain about that. Apparently, it was a little sketchy there for a second. I don't know what was going on, but it's not my fault.
It's actually not. We won't say whose fault it is.
But apparently it happened while I was talking, so it's just, I mean, the bit lives on forever.
It continues on.
Shout out to Stephen Boren. Drops us another super chat. He says, finished top of our flight in a golf tourney today. Hit my last $10 on my lucky number 8 in roulette. Want to glorify God right now. No matter how far you think you are from the Lord, you're never too far. Woo Pig Suey and God bless.
Amen.
We respect. I mean,
that's almost
giving
the
your
Lord's
super
Day.
chat.
Yeah.
We appreciate the super chat, and we appreciate you, using your spotlight to send your message, man. We appreciate that.
Just be sure you do your tithing tomorrow too.
That's right. Yeah. This does not count as your tithing.
No.
God does not count
this one.
We are not the church. Carmaduke says that UTSA is up 8-6 on Texas. Now, this was at 10:36. That was 20 minutes ago.
I'll check on the old
hopefully
updates
it's still working that way. A couple good chats from our guy Addison. He says, Wood pumping a crisp 96-98 tomorrow, then hand it over to Gackle. Bellissimo. What does that mean, Curtis? You're an Italian. You married an Italian woman. What does bellissimo mean?
Yeah, I don't even know if my Italian woman knows.
Okay. I'm assuming that's some type of Italian slang, right?
It's got to be.
I just thought that maybe he was a little hammered and typed some stuff out. And then
just
whoops,
gibberish.
hit that enter
We're over
button.
here like, yeah, I agree. Bellissimo.
Yeah, bellissimo. Yeah, of course.
like
we all thought.
He follows up and says, Cahillo's last base hit was what he needed. He was seeing BBs up there. Cahillo, of course, we're kind of like all waiting for him to break out, and Burn Iredale kind of got it going. His last two swings were good. He had a line drive to right field that I felt like was a good swing. Gets the base hit. Maybe that'll get him going a little bit. Shout out to Arkansas. Says, not to get too ahead of myself, but I'm already planning a road trip to Fayetteville to see the Hogs and the gang next weekend. What does he say? Oh, this is the year. I like that. Arkansas. We appreciate that.
Get up here.
Yeah, get up here. I mean, listen, if you're considering it, if anyone listening right now is considering it, you just got to pull up and come here, man. You got to come. Shout out to the guy we were meeting earlier that it's his anniversary this weekend, and this is his wife's anniversary present to him, was sending him to this and not coming. She was like, I'm not sitting through a baseball game. You go ahead. Shout out to our guy, Robert Hurst, who came with him as well, supporting all the way from Paris, Arkansas, right? Paris, Arkansas? That sound right?
Yeah, he's listening to his earbuds, so
he'll get it in about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I like this. Tuna's House of Influence says, in Ellis's word, we push their shit in, yeah?
It's true. It's a phrase you do use.
It did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not, well, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Aaron Emerson says, John, you should have took that bat up there, and I believe you would have gotten a hit.
I would have made contact. I don't know if I would have gotten a hit, but yeah, maybe next time, though.
I want to show two true statements back-to-back here. One, Carmaduke says Aloy's the best shortstop in program history. This is a true fact. And Inside Arkansas first reported this, by the way. We were the first to this party. I mean, it wasn't that bold of a take, but the more that you say it, people start realizing it, and it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then K-Hump says the Arthur Kaluma comment got me. Shout out to Scotty Bordelon because he texted that. It was a kid. I wonder if Davalon knew that kid because he was from somewhere in Ontario. It wasn't Montreal, and Davalon's from Montreal. I don't know if maybe they played against each other growing up or whatever. Maybe he gave the scouting report there, but love that. Chris Morse thought this Arkansas team couldn't hit, though.
That's what I was told.
Who said that? Because I mean, there's a lot of question marks about this team. I feel like they've answered the offensive questions, right?
I mean, as we pointed out many times, their lineup, almost all of them are hitting over 300, and it's hitting 20 home runs, as well as a lot of other ones that could potentially hit 20 home runs. I don't know where that came from.
Nate
that
Thompson's
they can't hit.
Exercising his post-semen.
Classic.
Post-semen. Post-demons.
That's all it is, yeah.
Whoa.
I love that.
Pause.
Kip C wants to know if Steel Eaves is a circle of trust guy next year. I love this, man. He's gotten better and better this year, and he's been pretty solid. He has not gotten a high leverage outing. He hasn't had that moment where he's had to come into a 6-4 game, and of course, Arkansas has enough depth in the pitching staff where they don't have to rush into that. But just very quietly been super solid for Arkansas. Would love to see him have a great summer and come back next year as a dude, man. Love to see that. Matter of fact, Pig says Steel Eaves needs to start tomorrow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Love that. Did y'all get to watch? I mean, because we were coming over here. Did you get to watch any of Steel Eaves' out? Last thing you saw before you left?
Yep.
Good stuff from behind home plate.
Listen, he looked good because at first I was like, I think they were warming up Dylan Carter when Bybee was shaky a little bit. I think Dylan Carter was out in the bullpen warming up, and so I thought that it was going to be him. I believe Castillo is 13, right? That's his number.
Yeah,
so I saw 31 Thursday. Like, oh, Dylan Carter. But then they announced Eaves. I'm like, okay, this is good. This could be interesting. And he looked great. He looked great in that.
Guys, Stephen Bourne, it's taken a turn in the chat. He says, "Can anyone explain existence without creation?" I'm really open, but I bet you can't.
You know what? I don't know if we need to go down that road here after regional game 2 for our win for Arkansas. Talk to us in the supers, and we can get into that one.
Yeah, I like this comment here from Steven. He says, shows tonight and even last night, you better have legit stuff as a pitcher if you want to keep us off the board. And this is true. Okay, how many times have we, how many years of Arkansas baseball have we been like, oh, hopefully they don't run into a lefty that throws 88 because those are the guys that kill you and stuff. And it's true a lot of times. I feel like the 2018 team, it was Kevin Abel, this righty throwing 91 that just crushed them. I feel like it's different with this team where, and it's kind of been that way all year, this team crushes cans. And I'm not saying that Creighton was throwing cans at him or anything, but it's like, the only staffs that have really limited this Razorback offense are teams that have a bunch of guys throwing 96, 97 front line dudes, which are going to be hard to hit for anybody. And that's why I feel like this team, they might. I mean, I don't anything out loud that would jinx it, but it's like they're just a safer bet than most of these Razorbacks you've seen over the years because I don't think they really have these highs and lows. Like every now and then, you play a team. It's a really good team that can beat you, and it's not like they're unbeatable. Like he says, you have to have really good stuff if you want to get this lineup out.
Well, it's like the deal with when we were talking about Aloy. There's previous years that if you had a player like Aloy that was hitting those home runs and doing that great, you would look at it and be like, okay, well, if he's going, we're screwed.
Right.
But now it's like, hey, if he's going through something, don't worry. Somebody else is stepping up to play. Somebody else is going to be getting it done. Somebody else is going to be doing big things. So, yeah, it's great to see that.
John, I want you to confirm or deny this report here from Roy. He says, John sounds like he a little too hard tonight. Your voice a little raspy. Were you getting after it out back there? Was he rowdy, Curtis?
He was rowdy, but I don't think it was anything too crazy.
No, it's just it's that time of year. It was the warm. Honestly, it's because of the weather being out and this nice weather for so much. You get a little stuff going on there, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's a little dried out. He could probably use a water or something.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be sounding like Darth Vader, so it'll be great. It'll be cool.
Curtis doesn't know who that is. He's never heard of that guy before.
It's the trash.
I'm more of a Boba Fett guy.
Oh, there you go. Ooh,
you like that
reference there?
Can I read? All right, I want to get John's permission first. Can I pull up a hilarious comment from SCT that may or may not be a little controversial? I know you and SCT have had your beef over the years.
I don't care. Sure, whatever.
He says, Steven, go try and hit off Zach Root and see if you still think God that loves you.
Jeez. Let's not start a holy war here in the chat.
The Baumbastic postgame has taken a wide turn here. Pull up this next super chat. I want to give a shout out to Madison McIntyre, who cannot hear us.
Yeah.
But he is in the building. He told me to pull up and stop by, and he did. He stopped by and said, what's up? I told him we were doing a pregame tomorrow, but he was like, dude, I'm watching that elimination game. I can't go to the pregame, man. I'm watching that elimination game. Hopefully we'll get to see Will McIntyre throw tomorrow, but hell, Arkansas might just cruise their way through this and not have to use anybody. We might just see a Gage Wood complete game. Shout out to my guy, Chris Cheatham. He says, great catch tonight, Ellis. So bobble. You don't need a glove. Randy Moss would be proud. I appreciate you, Christian, but I'm going to come clean here. Is this a safe space?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Is this a safe space?
It's a safe space.
Don't do it.
May not have been the most clean. There was a bobble, and I may have used the chair, but I will say the ball did not hit the ground. It would not be ruled a base hit. The umpire would give me an out no matter what, but it was a little bit of a
replay, not enough evidence to overturn batters out.
This part of my hand right here is absolutely throbbing. But, the batter would be out because, the ball did not hit the ground, but I shout out to my section who cheered. All of them cheered and acted like I just caught it with one hand, and it was massive. Luckily, the TV camera couldn't get there to me in time, so they didn't really notice. But I'm going to be honest, it wasn't as clean as I would like to think it was.
Can I ask you this? I don't know if you watched the video of yourself already.
I've watched the video. I look cool on the video.
Did you say to that person, I didn't catch it? Did you say?
I don't know what I said. I really honestly don't remember what I said.
I was trying to read your lips, and it almost looked like, I didn't catch it.
Need some John Boy Media to do some stuff over there.
I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember what I said in this moment. But, dude, funny story. There was a guy that's sitting in the front row of my section, and I can't remember who it was. There was a foul ball that, Logan Maxwell came and got, and then just, tossed up to him, and he caught it, and he, turned around and was, flexing and stuff. And this beautiful young lady sitting in front of me, she turned around and she said, you were a lot more humble when you caught your ball. And I was like, well, I appreciate that.
I've always thought of you that way.
It's true.
Y'all like the pump fake, by the way?
That's good.
Yeah.
I thought about ending someone's life in the hog pen and just Henry Rowan
Look alive
Garner
out
that
there.
shit, man. Yeah, love that shit. Let's see. A couple more chats in here. And, guys, we appreciate everybody for hanging out. It's 11 o'clock, and thank God they moved this game up an hour.
You ain't lying.
That game took a little minute, but we appreciate you guys for kicking it and hanging with us, man. It's always a lot more fun when they take care of business and win, but love that. Kip C says, today sounded like the loudest crowd in quite some time. Even the root chant was loud, which is really good. They gave him the good root when he was coming out of the game. I really wanted Dave to do the thing where he let him go out there and throw one more pitch. His pitch count was, 94? Get one more out, and then so he can get the standing ovation. Because at the end of the sixth inning, it's like you don't give a standing ovation for the end of the sixth inning. But, you know, did y'all think where does this rank in terms of like loudest crowds y'all been at Baum at least?
I mean, for me, it's about. I mean, I'd say it's top 5 for sure. You know, I think that it's going to be hard to top the Charlie Welch. You know, home run. You're never going to top that, and it would take a lot of efforts to do so. But no, I thought it was great. And speaking of the crowd, I don't want to forget about this and mention this. All jokes aside, because I know some people will do it. Shout out to the Razorback fans for giving a loud ovation to Kendall Diggs when he got up to bat. Like, that was an awesome thing because he struck. Like, dude, he wants to play. Like, he wants to do good, and he's been so like hurt and everything, and so it's been sucking just to have to see him struggle. And so that, and you know, you people making jokes and all that, but to see the Razorback fans like literally get up and give him ovation when he gets up to bat was really cool. He had a big smile on his face, so shout out to the fans for that too. That was awesome.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did punch out, which sucks, but
I know, and it does.
I really like. I even said because you know they bring him in. They brought him in as a defensive replacement last night. They brought him in as a defensive replacement today. I'm sure they will continue to do that as time goes on. But I was like, dude, if he hits a home run here, like even a garbage time home run, they should no longer play. Like that should be his last moment as a Razorback. Yep. We should all remember Kendall Diggs that way. We got a comment from LeBron again.
Oh, it's good to see him again.
He says, "Do you guys think that whoever pitches tomorrow is determined by who wins the elimination game?" So to start, I would not imagine. I believe it's going to be Gage Wood unless something weird happens. You know, by the way, maybe the best Game 3 starter in the country. Obviously, hadn't been Arkansas's Game 3 starter all year, but you could do a lot worse. Like that decision to start Aiden Jimenez Game 1 feels a lot better now. Like obviously hindsight's 20/20, but setting it up to where you have a potential first rounder throwing on the mound in an elimination game, or for what will be an elimination game for your opponent, who's probably going to be pretty depleted, could not be a better situation for Arkansas for sure.
I can't wait to see Gage go out there and shove.
Yeah. Trey said that Dave Van Horn already announced that Gage Wood's starting, so I guess there's your answer.
Good.
Wow. Okay.
Good.
Wow. Spoilers, Dave. Wow.
Gage good tomorrow. It's going down.
There was one more comment that I wanted to pull up here. Carmaduke earlier said, doesn't matter who we play tomorrow night, they won't have any pitching left. And I mean, again, we've talked about it a lot, but it cannot be overemphasized, like how important it is that Arkansas was able to just kind of piece this together without overexerting any arms. And North Dakota State, by the way, who won an elimination game today, shout out to them, eliminated Kansas. I guess we hadn't talked about that. They used their big left-handed closer who's really freaking good and potentially our game. You know, it's always weird when we play the game where we're like, so is that guy burnt for the weekend when he throws like 30 pitches? It's like, dude, it's eliminate. When your season's on the line, I mean, Kevin Kopps threw freaking 400 pitches that regional weekend for Arkansas. You'll do whatever you got to do, but no matter what Arkansas is going to be facing tomorrow, whether it's Creighton or North Dakota State, which we'll be tapped into that game at 2 p.m. tomorrow, that whoever is going to have to use arms, and so you just have to feel pretty good, not to mention you're the home team. Somebody, shout out to Matt Grissom. He tweeted out a stat today, because everybody, I said it on the pod today that it's 81%. When you go 2-0 in a regional, it's 81% that you win it. But for hosts, it's 90. When you go 2-0 as a host, it's 90%. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And I would imagine for a national seed, it's even higher. You add in some of the other factors like the pitching and all that. Like Arkansas probably has like a 99% chance of winning this thing, right?
They're in a great spot.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. So the Kopps year, they won their first two, right? And then they lost to Nebraska in what would have been the elimination game for them, and then they had to come back Monday night. That's right. Okay.
Yep. By the way,
let's avoid that.
Yeah. Just real quick score update because people were cheering.
Let's hear it, yeah.
And lost tonight.
Did they really?
They lost tonight.
About time.
They lost to Louisville 3-2. Real quick, a few of them. UTSA is up on Texas 8-7, top of the 8th inning. So still time in that one. Auburn and Stetson, it's 5. Auburn's up, but it's the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. So, Quinn's getting nervous right now. But Arizona beating the crap out of Utah Valley. LSU's beating the crap out of Dallas. And Coastal Carolina's beating the crap out of East Carolina. So
Arkansas and LSU are the two best teams.
I believe that's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I think Tennessee might be the 3rd best team.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, hell, you look at all the like ratings indexes and stuff, and they have like Tennessee is up there as a top 3 or 4. So I mean, weekend could be like a College World Series finals like type of atmosphere here.
Love
And also, by the way, Georgia lost earlier to Duke, and they're the same side. If you're thinking about, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but thinking ahead to Omaha, Texas would be in Arkansas' side of the bracket. They end up losing. That's a notable thing. Georgia would be in Arkansas' side of the bracket. If they end up losing, that'd be notable. I have no idea what'd you say LSU score was?
It was 11-0.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, they would also
around.
be in there. So, I mean, look, the national champion is coming from this side of the bracket, in my opinion, because you have Arkansas, LSU, and Tennessee all on that one side. And if you get some of these other top national seeds out of there, you start feeling really feeling pretty good about Arkansas's chances here. A few more we'll get to here. I hope I didn't miss a super chat here. Let's see. I don't know. Justin here says neighbor's shirt is legit. 9.6. One shirt. Everybody knows the rules. That is a Dave Portnoy quote.
Oh, so he's rating it.
9.6. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that's
okay.
good.
I thought that was like some brand. I was like, I think it's Tommy Bahama. But yeah, thank you. It's a good shirt. Alumni Hall. Go pick you one up.
Yeah, shout out to Alumni Hall. They do great stuff.
They do.
I was going to wear my Alumni Hall basketball shirt tonight that I told you I was going to wear, Curtis. I wound up going with the Road Grays. Had to match the boys. Had to be in solidarity with the boys, and I'm glad I did that. Speaking of solidarity, our guy Mark W. says he is still a believer in Sam Pittman.
Woo pig.
Good to know. Good to know here on a random Saturday night
Tonight,
here for Tom Baseball.
so am I.
Yep.
Let's go, baby.
I'm a believer in everybody.
Yep.
I'm a believer in Hunter Yurchek even.
I have to read the super chat here, but Steven's going. He says, "Let's get real. We are the." Oh wait, no, this is not a religious one. I'm good. Okay, let's get real. We are the odds-on favorite to win it all. How much are y'all believing? By the way, nothing comes from nothing. It's that simple. No, I mean, listen, we've. I mean, I'm not saying like we've been like every day we've been saying they're going to win the national title, but it's like again, we all knew the capability. Like it was never a question, at least in anyone with a brain's mind, that like Arkansas has a chance. They had a good shot. But like we say, it's just you never really know until you get into this postseason and you roll the balls out there and you see who's just bigger. Arkansas is pretty big, and if we're measuring, Arkansas is pretty big, and there may be a bigger one out there. There may be a bigger one out there, but they're gonna have to hit my pitch, as Lane Knight says, with like 9 different references there. Love that. Another super chat from Josh Parker. He says, "I knew it was going to be a good night once they added Rob Zombie to the Instagram post of Root." Yeah, that's Zach Root's walk-up song. That Rob Zombie. Dracula, is that the name of the song?
Dig through the ditches and burn through the. Was it dig through the ditches and burn through the witches? Slam in the back of my Dracula. Yeah. I was talking to Curtis about that. I'm like, it's so funny because knowing it's like, oh, I remember this song. I remember Rob Zombie. And I was like, Root wasn't even alive when that song came out. And he probably thinks that's like some oldie. It's like, hey, I got this old song that we're playing over here. It's like, yeah, I guess now I'm starting to feel old. But good selection, though. It gets them hyped.
I remember when they released the Sounds of Bomb preseason, you were like, Dracula? What the hell? You were like, who has Dracula? What the hell is that going on?
Was Mudvayne like off topic there? It's like just put random metal bands from like the late 90s.
Well, it's funny. You know what Cole Gibbler's walkout song is? What I've Done by Linkin Park. Cole Gibbler's 18 years old.
Come on, bro.
Who the hell told him that? Where did who?
He's a big Transformers fan.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. He's just like, yeah, I love Megan Fox, so I'll keep watching that movie. By the way, speaking of Cole Gibbler, there's a few. So I noticed there was a group of girls that were all wearing these like white tank tops that had a number on the front. I'm gonna assume that was like the ladies, the wags, the girlfriends. He had Ryder Helfrich had his girl out there repping. I believe Gackle maybe had his girl out there, but Cole Gibbler had his girl out there. It was cool to see the ladies out there repping. I want to talk about this because I don't know if we've talked about it as a group on or off air, but Caleb says, not sure if y'all talked about it, but how about Wright State's head coach pulling his pitcher that had a no-hitter going through 6? This was last night against Vanderbilt. They wound up losing that game 4-3. And again, anytime you make a decision, if it doesn't work, it was the wrong decision, no matter if it was the right decision. Now, I think he had walked 4 of the last 8 hitters or something like that. I saw someone say that. I wasn't even really watching the game that close because we were sitting here shooting the shit. But that's a tough one there, right?
Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah. Was his pitch count crazy? Or
I'm sure it was up there, up in the hundreds or whatever.
Walking a bunch of dudes, but yeah, that sucks, man.
And I mean, it was also a 3-0 game, or maybe getting to 3-1, 3-2 at that point. So it's like you don't really have time to wait for him to give up the 3-run nuke.
And
you're
playing Vanderbilt. It's not like you're the favorite seed or whatever. It's like, dude, you're not gonna get this opportunity. Roll with it. Yeah.
Boys, I think we're nearing the end here. I mean, I know we talked about that hour mark, and we got to get over the hour mark. But I just am really glad that we are in a good mood right now and that we're able to have some fun. We're able to chat. Before we get out of here, though, let's talk about Trey Vero, and let's get this comment out of the way so we can see that Trey Vero logo front and center. Trey Vero, which have we determined tomorrow? I don't know if we can pull it off tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we got to have a discussion about
Thankfully, we have several games down the stretch to do this, but at some point, you guys are going to see us looking real dapper in some Trey Vero suits. Shout out to those guys over there that hook us up, man. It's really good stuff. But why spend so much money renting tuxes and suits when you can own the highest quality ones at an affordable price? That's what Trey Vero Clothing can provide for you, whether it's weddings, formals, or black tie events. Have Trey Vero Clothing get you looking your best this summer. Check out their entire line on Instagram or check them out at any Dillard's near you. It's Trey Vero Clothing, where they dress the best version of you. And, everyone always rents. And it's like, in the moment, you're like, of course I'm going to rent because, I don't need this past this weekend. But how many times have you rented? How many times have you rented a tux? Like 30?
Every time I go to a wedding,
And it's like, at some point, it's like, you kind of outsmarted yourself. It's like, it's not really that. It's not really foolproof genius if you keep renting.
Mm-hmm. You're throwing money down the tube.
Yeah, you're just going to live in that apartment for the rest of your life. That's what you're going to do. You're just going to keep every month. You're just going to pay rent. Like, no, you need that. But boys, as we wrap up here and we kind of look ahead to tomorrow. Of course, it's tough to look ahead to tomorrow because we don't know who Arkansas is going to play. We didn't know who they were going to play yesterday, but we know Arkansas is going to be facing a depleted pitching staff. I mean, listen, we're trying not to get too ahead of ourselves and do the whole, clearly they're in a good spot, they're fine. But they're in a good spot and they're fine, right?
Yes. I mean, again, if you could have written, hey, these are how the first two games are going to go for Arkansas, and they're going to end in wins, and you're going to say, hey, this is what you're going to do in game one. These are the pitchers you're going to use in game one. Game two, you're going to blow out this team. You're going to use these pitchers, and that's it. You're going to get your best player to come back out and just hit 2 piss missiles to oblivion, and everything's going right. I just don't understand or could think of a better scenario. I mean, yeah, sure, perfect games and whatnot, but seriously, you can't think of a better situation you're in than right now. You have plenty of pitching. You got guys getting confident again. It was good to see even Iredale, seeing him kind of get it going a little bit. This is exactly what the best thing you could ask for right now. And I just don't understand how anybody could be I can understand nervous, but not upset with what's going on right now. This is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is. I'll get ahead of myself. This ends tomorrow.
Curtains.
This ends tomorrow. It's a wrap. Bison, Blue Jay, who cares? Doesn't matter. Hogs by 90. They're getting it done tomorrow. And we'll be able to kick our feet up and look forward to Tennessee or whoever the hell comes in here next week. And that doesn't matter either.
And by the way,
I feel great about this team.
I'm sure there's a lot of people listening. They're like, guys, you're going to do all this. Like, you can't look past your opponent. Listen, if the Razorback team felt the way we did, that'd probably be a red flag. You don't want those guys getting too big. But as a fan, and which that's what we are. We are fanboys at the end of the day. That is what we are. It just is nice to be in this position and see a team and just kind of know they're going to show up. And there's something to be said about just doing what you're supposed to do. That's what Arkansas has done here so far. This has been like the hump that they haven't been able to get over. Has been like this game too. I mean, last 2 years, we always talk about getting bounced on the regional. It's because they lose this game.
Yep.
You lose, you have Hagen Smith on the mound, and you lose. It's like that's kind of when your season's going to end here. And of course, Arkansas could, we'll see how the rest of the weekend plays out. But it does feel like this is an exhale moment for this fan base, and it's just good to see the Razorbacks playing the way that we know that they were capable of. The thing about it is, guys, you got to get that 4-seam grip right here. And if you want to throw the slider, this is what Zach Root was working with tonight. You got to get that sucker. You got to get on the side of it right here. Some guys kind of manipulate the grip. You can get a little angle or whatever, but got to get on the side right there. And then we go with the circle change. So we go right here. We go with the circle change. If you guys had a foul ball from an NCAA tournament game, you'd be able to know all these pitch grips and all that. But
you don't.
Just cost each one of you $5 a super chat for some knowledge there, so some training from Andrew Ellis. So you guys better pay up.
You'll like that.
Did you ever get those baseballs that had it had like the dots for the grip?
I don't know if I ever did.
Different pitches.
Yeah.
It had like 4 different pitches.
You know what I like is the wiffle balls that have the little circle in the middle that you can kind of like manipulate how much of the holes are showing, so that you can kind of speed it up. Or change up, you let those circles flow a little bit. I hate to keep bringing up his chats because I don't want to feel like we're like picking on anybody, but Steven is very upset, man. He says, really, that's all y'all got? We are literally the favorites to win the national championship, and y'all don't even jump on that? Crazy work. Well, to be fair, Arkansas has been the favorites to win the national championship for like a month now. So it's like, again, we're not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but I don't know. I feel like we're pretty good. We've accurately been as pleased as we can be without straight up declaring them the national champions, right?
Yeah, no, we're high on the Hogs, man. We don't doubt the snout. We feel good about things.
Listen, and if it was in basketball, if Arkansas was going into this field of 68, the favorite to win it all, you're telling me back, yeah, easy work. It's going to be fine. It's like, no, it's postseason. Things happen. Like, just because you're the favorite doesn't mean anything. Yes, you feel great about it, but you still got to play the games. Get to Omaha, then we can start feeling really good, but you got to get there first.
Yeah, well, I mean, and also it's like one of those things where it's like you almost don't want to draw attention to it. It's like when you have a no-hitter, when you have a perfect game going, when you are the odds-on favorite, when you're preseason number one, the more you talk about it, nobody hands out trophies and is like, hey, this team was ranked number one in April. This team on May 31st, this team had the best odds to win the national championship. It's about who gets it done, who shows up, and so we'll see how it is.
Kentucky basketball does that, but not anybody else.
What's everybody reacting to in here, by the way?
It's got to be something with Texas because everyone getting that up in arms about something has to be deal with Texas.
This just looks like a very bad misplay.
Because Texas, it's 8-7 UTSA, bottom of the eighth with one out with runners at first and second, but at least according to the scores. But I don't know what.
I'm having a hard time seeing it because everything's split screened over there.
Of course, yeah.
We're in the one part, like Foghorns. There's 150 TVs in Foghorns. We are in the one section where we don't have a great view at all.
Well, the thing is, we do have a TV. It's been turned off since it's over here. So
whatever.
Now we got cheers. So who knows what's going on? We'll just have to roll with it.
I'm sure the
find
chat
out.
knows, and they're making fun of us for being idiots here.
Probably so.
We got a couple guys in the chat that have Arkansas at plus 1,200. Austin Taylor, shout out to him. He's a legend. And Jeremy also got them at plus 1,200 before the season. I mean, listen, that's pretty awesome. And you're also probably going to have some hedge opportunities. I mean, if you have that, if Arkansas plays LSU round one of the College World Series, just bet a lot of money on them. You'll be fine there. Love that. Boys, I know we've already done the final thought thing a little bit. But my final thought is the sun is shining, or the sun will shine on this. There's no way to make it a present tense without saying shining.
Yeah.
The sun is going to shine on our swine again tomorrow. I think I'm just going to run. Came up with that yesterday. But boys, before we get out of here, do y'all have any message to the Hog faithful? Do you have any message to our loyal listeners out there?
Just I'm going to use a Game of Thrones reference. What do we say to death? Not today. What we're saying about Arkansas and elimination? Not today. About getting out of the tournament? Not today. It's going to be the same thing. Not today. Tomorrow. So get it done. Let's get ready for a super regional in Fayetteville, Tennessee. Whoever it is, it's more than likely going to be Tennessee. I'm sure there won't be any energy or emotion into that at all. But let's get over that hump. Get to the supers. Make a trip to Omaha. We'll see y'all there in a couple weeks.
Live to play another day. Yay.
You do live to play another.
Let's get it.
Arkansas season confirmed will not be ending tomorrow.
That's right.
Officially will not be ending, which
Get
is
at
always
least
a
two
good
more
feeling.
of these, boys. Survive in advance. Here we go.
We got one last super that we got to shout out here. Shout out to Bo. This is Bo Mattingly, actually.
Oh, okay.
He says, Grips noted, my nephew will be there in 18 years. Thanks, Andrew. Hell yeah, man. Well, we look forward to covering your nephew's legendary career here at Arkansas. By that point, by the time your nephew gets here, Arkansas will have won, like 7, 8 national titles?
At least,
minimal,
yeah. He'll be a part of Tony Vitello's 5th national championship winning team at Arkansas, so we look forward to watching that, man. And we look forward to watching the Hogs tomorrow, which is always – it's nice to be able to wake up tomorrow and be excited to watch the Pig, which we are going to be. So we appreciate you guys for watching. We appreciate your love for Arkansas baseball. Appreciate you for tuning in with us. It's been a brilliant edition of the Baumbastic Postgame. We will be back here tomorrow. Were you about to say something?
No,
or were you just pointing the bat?
Just pointing the bat.
I thought you were like, I was like, you had something to say there.
He's got snake kids.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. We will be celebrating Arkansas advancing to the Super Regional round. I'm Andrew Ellis. He's John Neighbors. That's Curtis Wilkerson. We love the Hogs. We love the swine. And the sun will shine on the swine. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's have a great one, and let's watch this elimination game with no stress. Have a good one, everybody.